Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Logic Colony. In today's video we are going to talk about cruciality in the FIFA World Cup 2022, and it is leaving a positive human rights legacy. It's crucial that the FIFA World Cup in Qatar leaves a positive human rights legacy. Fans, unions, labor organizations, and football federations are fighting to prevent the abandonment of those who experienced human rights violations during the World Cup's preparations in Qatar. Participants that played the game in Odense heard during a session on the first day of the conference that the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup should be used to leave a legacy for human rights in the Middle East. Speakers stressed that even if the Gulf state had won the competition due to a rigged voting process, it was still crucial to support those in the area who had endured fatalities and violations of their human rights because of the competition after it was done. More than a dozen global unions, supporters, human rights and labor groups, including Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, Fair Square, are asking FIFA and Qatar to set aside a multi-million-dollar legacy fund to pay workers and their families and to improve protections with a well-known migrant workers center, said Minky Wardens of Human Rights Watch, HRW. Wardens said that FIFA acknowledged the risks of effort in 50-degree heat when it decided to shift the 2022 World Cup to the winter. However, it was assumed that migrant workers would keep working in the heat. She claimed that there was no worry about them.
Demands that FIFA establish a legacy fund to assist workers. In addition to the International Labor Organization, ILO, Amnesty International, the Building and Woodworkers International, BWI, and other football federations, HRW and Jesper Miller, the chairman of the Danish Football Union, DGU, are members of the UEFA Working Group on Human Rights. Following a meeting last week in Qatar, plans are being made to keep the ILO and BWI's permanent offices in Doha. The easiest request that can be made of FIFA and Qatar is to set this up, Warden said to play the game following the meeting. There is always a legacy fund, so the FIFA system has done it before. There is already a fund for insurance, but to make a claim, you must be present in the nation. Therefore, none of the families benefit from that. FIFA has established a grievance procedure, but you must be able to submit a complaint online, according to Wardens. The issue is what is feasible and what is on the market. Now that the family breadwinner has passed away, how about creating a fund to help those families who are struggling with extreme poverty, child labor, and child marriage? More essential than resolving the problems is media spin. The Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy, which is in charge of delivering the event, was said to have gone down a defensive route rather than taking up the issue of ongoing human rights violations in the media. Benjamin Best, a journalist who has made significant contributions to exposing mistreatment of tournament workers, claimed that internal communications made public by Abdullah Ibhaiz showed that the Supreme Committee prioritized PR spin over talking to the workers to resolve these issues. Ibhaiz Prize, 2. After a trial in which Amnesty International claims he was compelled to sign a pre-written confession without access to counsel, he received a 5-year sentence that was ultimately reduced to 3 years. Best explained that on a visit to Qatar in December, it was clear that the focus was on combating media coverage rather than addressing the issue. For 3 days, 2 chiefs followed me around, he claimed. Additionally, he provided proof that Qatar is still attempting to hide its migrant workers from public view in 2022. All migrant workers are required to leave Qatar during the World Cup, according to a government order.
Sportswashing and human rights. In response to a query from the audience, Middle East football blog contributor James M. Dorsey claimed that Qatar had been misled by the emphasis on human rights. They were caught off guard, he claimed. They believed that they would be nourished in exchange for their accomplishment. They also made the tactical error of assuming everything would end quickly. Given that other nations have also engaged in sport washing, there was considerable discussion about whether the media's attention on Qatar was indicative of prejudice and racism. DPU Chairman Miller stated that a definition of sport washing was necessary. Dorsey stated that sport washing is nothing new. According to Dorsey, one reason it is more noticeable is that diplomacy has evolved. Foreign ministries, pinstripes, and diplomats are no longer associated with diplomacy. This is cultural. It is open to the general public. It is a sport. Journalist and moderator James Corbett brought up a Financial Times article about worker mistreatment, including a whistleblower who was reluctant to speak out about bullying, sexism, racism, homophobia, and low pay because she would lose her job. Noma is the company. The nation is Denmark. Should Denmark lose the opportunity to submit a proposal to host the UEFA Women's European Championships in 2025? Each nation should be able to host a competition as long as they do so in accordance with human rights principles, according to Odense. She emphasized that Sepp Blatter, the former president of FIFA, had ordered Professor John Rud's shift to do a human rights assessment as one of his final acts. It was brought up that when Qatar was given the privilege to host the 2022 World Cup, FIFA gave no consideration to human rights at all. Now that a human rights framework has been established, it is required to take human rights into account when choosing tournament hosts. That qualifies as advancement.
I hope today's video will help you in future and that you learn something from this video. For more learning videos, you can subscribe Logic Colony so you do not miss knowledge video.